What's going on, everybody? It's Devontae back with a new video again. And this Monday, I'm going to be taking things a little bit different and talking about how I actually got to $10,000 on my journey to 20K. And I'm going to give you real advice, minus the bullshit that you get in a lot of videos or non usable information. It's just that it's extended for the purpose of viewership and giving you like tidbits of hope and psychological principles to help you get over the mindset hurdles that it takes to save money. Because a lot of it is mindset. Money is like 90% psychological. So, step one is simple: you increase the gap between your expenses and your income, meaning there's something left over after all your expenses are paid. So, what does that look like? It's probably a part time job. That's what I did a lot on the weekends. It's probably investing any lump sum that you get. So, anything that you might get from your income taxes or your refund, anything that you might get as a reimbursement from your job, a bonus, anything that you get, you're saving it because you're trying to get to $10,000. Well, I want to get this, like, fucking, I don't know, car part because it makes me feel 1% cooler. Dude, like, what do you want more? Is always a question that you have to ask is, what do you want more? And this is why it's important to have a good why, which is a psychological thing, but we're not worried about that. So what does that look like? Having that extra money to increase the gap between your income and your expenses. So we said part-time job, freelance work, side gigs like Uber and DoorDash. Anything that you have free time outside of your 40-hour dedication, anything that you can do to get extra money is what you're doing. Also might look like no rent. Maybe you can move back in with a family member or your mom or your dad, whoever the case may be, because that would be so nice to not have rent. But if you can do that, this will fast track everything, and ultimately maybe some debt payoff. Maybe you might have to consider that to increase that gap. So until you get past step one and you have a big enough gap between income and expenses, don't worry about this. Step two is obviously going to be save and invest the difference. That's it. That's it. Whatever vehicle you want to use to save it and invest it, that's not the point. And people get caught up in that part, and it really does not matter. Like, it does for the sake of returns. You don't want to put it in a fucking CD account and get like 0.5% every year. It's stupid. But what matters is having the difference so you can save and invest it. That's it. And another thing that really helps with this is small wins. So when I'm studying, there's only so much bandwidth I have to actually start retaining information. Even when I'm reading a book, there gets a point where I need to take a break because I'm not retaining anything I'm reading. And you take a break. So you divide it into small chunks is what I'm basically saying, because that's how attention and energy works. You can put it into these sprints, but you have to have rest in between in order to do work efficiently. Jobs need to figure that out. So you have to do it with breaks in between. People are only optimally efficient for so long. So what I'm saying about this is break it down into smaller pieces. So don't think about it like $10,000. No, what you're doing is having a bunch of tiny $100 deposits until you reach 1,000, and then you do that 10 more times, and that's how you get $10,000. This isn't a framework or a mindset. This is just momentum. Once you see momentum, you're going to want to keep going, and that's exactly what happened to me. Once I saw 1,000, I'm like, hey, I've had this before. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. A lump sum. Hey, it went up 4 times now, and I just kept doing that. And then the last step is just to repeat steps 1 and 2. Increase the gap between your expenses and income. A bonus step is also to optimize, right? Step 1. So optimize it by how? You probably earn more money or have less debt. It's simple shit, right? Earn more money, have less debt. Then you also increase step 2 as a result of optimizing step 1. That's it. So step 3 is literally repeat step 1 and step 2. And then think about it in small chunks. 1,000 is 110 times. 500, 2 times. 10,000 is 1,010 times. There's $10,000 is $27.4 per day. It's $833 roughly per month. If you're already saving 300, you know you're at a lack of about $530 to hit that by end of year. It's also $192 roughly per week. So if you're able to save $80 per week, you know you have a $112 lack. You need to find out a way to make that up. Whatever the case may be, the biggest thing is to remember all you're doing is increasing the gap between your income and expenses and saving and investing the difference. You're optimizing step 1 so you can increase step two. That's it. If you need the mindset stuff, I completely understand. That's all you have to think about. Steps 1 and 2. Optimize step 1 so you can increase step 2, and just keep repeating it. And remember to focus on small wins. Small wins lead to a victory. So